what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here with Marty Music, and I want to show you a scale that you really want to know on guitar, and it's the building blocks for most of the music that we do, and it's the movable shape of the major scale. I was just playing the C major scale there. In the olden days, when you used to go into a guitar shop and they started teaching you out of a book and wanted you to read music from the very beginning, they would actually go from the C major scale in this open first position. So that was the C major scale. It's all the natural notes. There's no sharps or flats, those little symbols in the sheet music. So you would learn to read music in C major because there were no extra information. It's the natural white keys on the piano. So with the guitar, that major scale has that open position, but I think even more important because you can play what are called the modes. You can also play arpeggios and visualize chord tones, all derived from this major scale. So real quick, I'm just going to zoom in and show you the major scale, which it's not the pentatonic. It's a major scale position where we find the root on the E string. Some of you know it, but I've more often than not, when gone into a guitar lesson, even when guitar players are really experienced, a lot of times they don't actually know the scale, or they might know it after I show it to them, like, oh yeah, I kind of remember that. But this is something that you definitely want to know, and you definitely want to practice and get it under your fingers. So I'm going to start by just going over the C major scale, and I'll show you one of those exercises I did when I was just playing it in the intro. It's a really good one. But so I find the root on the E string. I'm going to play the C major scale. The C note is the 8th fret E string. And I put my middle finger there for this particular scale shape. Now, if I wanted to play the B major scale, I would just do it on the B note, which is a half step down, or the A, which is a whole step down on the 5th fret, or E up here, or E flat, or D flat, C sharp, but we'll just pick C. So 8th fret, middle finger. And by the way, this is the do, re, mi scale. So we play middle finger, then up a whole step with the pinky. Very specifically, when you start practicing this, you want to use these exact fingers where you're assigning a finger to each fret. Thus, your hand is playing in a position, in one position. Your hand's not scooting around. So middle finger on the 8th fret, pinky on the 10th fret. Then index finger on the 7th fret, A string. Then a half step up with your middle finger, 9th fret. And then pinky up to the 10th fret. And then on the D string, it's 7, 9, 10. And by the way, I just watched 2001 Space Odyssey. That's the very end, the end last 3 notes of the movie. So now we're back at the octave again, which is 10th fret of the D string. And then we have on the G string, 7, 9, 10. So they're the same thing on D and G. So that's very symmetrical there. Then pinky on the 10th fret A, back down. Let's keep going. 8, 10, 7, 8, 10, 7, 9, 10, 7, 9, 10. On the B string, it's just 8, 10, so middle and pinky. And then 7, 8, 10. And just how I said that if you know this scale, you can actually play what are called modes. So this is not just the C major scale. But it's also can be shifted into other scales as well, like A minor. And others. So you want to just get this underneath your fingers. That's the root again, but then you can go up just because of the position to 10 with your pinky. And you also have a half step below, but that's not the root. You can hear that that sounds like home bass. All right, so now a little exercise that will definitely help your guitar playing. I still practice this one in different scales, this one included, but it's playing in thirds. And so what you're doing is you're playing a note, like the first note on the 8th fret E string, and then you're skipping the next tone in the scale, which would be 10th fret. I'm skipping that, but then playing the next note. So it'd sound like this. 8th fret on the low E to 7th fret A. Then, so I did that thirds from this, then I'm going to do it from the 10th fret, and it would be 10th fret low E to 8th fret A. So I'm skipping that note to hit that. So you put them together, you can almost start to hear the next one. And all you're doing is just, you got to know the scale first, and then each note you start on, you skip a note, but then start with the next one down. Now look at 10th on the B. The next note down's right there. We skip it, and there is no note there. It's actually right here. And the thing about thirds are those are the tones you hear that create chords. If I did 2 sets of thirds like this, now I'm actually playing the arpeggios of the C major scale. But if you just start with those basic thirds, you're always going to hear really cool melodic ideas in there. Now let me talk about how that can be different modes. Everything I just did there, I'm going to play it in its 5th mode. So I take the 5th note up the scale, which is a G note, and I'm going to play it over G, all these notes, the thirds, but instead of C being the home bass, it's going to be the 5th note up. And so that would be called G Mixolydian, and you play it over a G tonal center, specifically a G7 chord. So first I was playing C major scale like this. But if I play everything the same, but start and end it on the G, now it has a different quality to it. You'll hear it even more if I play it over a G7 chord, like this. Okay, so now I'm going to do it where I do the 6th note of the scale, and it would be from A to A. And it becomes the A minor scale. So I'll do everything the same notes. I haven't changed the notes, but I'm going to play it over an A minor progression and use the exact same notes, and even that thirds going up and down the scale and the thirds exercise. Check it out. Anyway, a little teaser there just to show you what comes from that scale. All right, so that's the basic first position of the major scale. It's never, even if you didn't understand all the theory in this video, if you just start messing around with that, you're going to see that it's actually the building blocks of all the music that we listen to. And the more you explore it, the more you'll understand it. I have a lot of other courses like beginner theory that helps explain this more, all kinds of courses that follow step by step that will help you understand this stuff. I have a modes course that would go into that kind of stuff. I also have just soloing lessons as well, all at my website, martymusic.com. So hope that helped. Appreciate your support, and we'll see you in another video soon. See ya.